This is about trying to get rid of symptoms. It seems like the goal in a lot of the mind-body space, and you know, the view is that we need to get rid of these symptoms because we want to feel better. But we're totally missing the big point. In a way, it's not about the symptoms. It's like the symptoms are the alarm that are trying to point to something bigger that you need to figure out, right? You got to put your attention to this over here. But we're so focused on the alarm screaming at us. So that would be like going into a building, right? You got all these alarms that are screaming. The alarms are annoying you, of course, because they're loud. You got the smoke alarms, smoke detectors are beeping, right? And they're loud. So what people are doing, they're going, let's take down all these alarms, right? You take down all the smoke detectors, I'll take down all the noisy ones, right? We're going to take off the panel, we're going to smash them, we're going to unscrew them, we're going to cut the wiring so we can get some peace in here, right? And that seems to be the goal with a lot of people. But the thing is, it's not the alarms that we should be turning off. The alarms are just trying to get your attention to the root fire that's in section C, floor 5, hallway 2 of stuff that needs to be looked at, acknowledged, allowed. All those drops in the allostatic load bucket are sitting, and we need to take the time to allow it one drop at a time, right? Here we go. Without trying to force it out and release it, forcefully release it. So sometimes it's almost a bad idea to silence your alarms. It could be dangerous because they have a job. And if you're silencing them, right? If you're silencing them, it's a ticking time bomb of something that can happen to you because your allostatic loads are just going to overflow, right? Mayday, mayday, we're having a meltdown. And now it's not about perceiving danger anymore. Now it's trying to get your attention to real danger. And your survival state skyrockets. Because it's the ultimate suppressor when you don't even have the thing to tell you that you're suppressing. So you know, if you don't even know, because all you're doing, you're just doing enough of the work to silence the alarms. And you know what? Good thing that you can try to silence the alarms. There's always going to be one popping up screaming at you. So thank goodness that our system has got it all covered. It's smarter than that, right? So it's not about the symptoms. Yeah, we want to feel better. We want to, stop feeling crazy. We want to stop freaking out about the symptoms and that pain and that, right, food sensitivity and the gut issues, right? We want those all to go away. But they are only there as an indicator to tell you, dude, you got to change some things. You got to start to allow, you got to start to empty all this energy. You need to dissolve it. It's building up, right? There's some debt to pay, right? And the way we pay it is by allowing, letting it do its thing, feeling it. When you feel it and you pass it through your chest, this vortex vacuum, it dissolves that energy. And eventually, over time, your bucket starts to empty and the survival state starts to calm down back to zero, right? And the symptoms go away as a consequence. That's how it's supposed to work. Not the other way around. Let's get rid of the symptoms first and let's not worry about the root issue, why the symptoms are screaming in the first place. And a lot of these other programs, what they do is they bypass the root issue. Instead of dissolving that energy that needs to be felt and allowed, right, and getting to the root, what they do is they build a bridge and bypass, right? They just sweep the shit under the carpet. That's what they're doing. And they're just, the carpet is just another neural pathway, right? Eventually, it doesn't matter how many Band-Aid neural pathways you create, Something's got to give. Body keeps the score. Bells are going to be screaming. And what are you going to do? You're going to try to micromanage it with brain retraining or the carnivore diet? That's not going to cut it anymore. So keep the alarms on because they have a job to do. Right? Without them, you don't know what to work on. Right? The fear, the alarms, the symptoms, that's your target. It tells you where you're at. It's an indicator, right? You need it. Without it, number one, without it, you can't use it as an opportunity to update the program, right? So that's everything. Number two, you don't know where you're at, right? Are we still in a survival state? I don't know. The alarms aren't on. Who knows, right? You're just lost at sea, right? And number three, it becomes your target that you can feel and see and go towards it so you can process it and work with it. And they're also telling you, hey, listen, you got some shit in your life you got to change. Because they don't just come from thin air, right? Sure, life threw us curveballs when we were young. Maybe we had some trauma as a child, maybe certain curveballs that we couldn't avoid, right? But there are a lot of them that we can change, but we're just not aware of. Maybe aware of old behavior patterns. Maybe you're in a toxic relationship or a relationship and you got to get out. Maybe you're in a toxic work environment and your alarms are trying to tell you, hey, we're at capacity, dude. Something's got to give. You got to get out. You got to get out of that relationship, right? That marriage, that friendship, that job, whatever it is that's filling up or allostatic loads because you're people pleasing like crazy and it's just too much. So you got to do a whole life change, not just about the symptoms. You got to change your whole life, not just one or two things. It's from the root right up to everything. You name it. The way you respond, your behavior patterns, what's your thinking patterns like, right? Relationship, friendships, work environment, your mental diet, right? So for a bit, you might be, a bit of a curious observer about your patterns because first step to changing anything is you got to be aware. So once you're aware, then you can make the changes. It's hard. I get it. Sometimes, you got, but the thing is, this is your movie. This is you. This is your life. If you don't make the changes, you're just gonna keep pushing the problem, right? You're gonna stay on that hamster wheel. You're gonna be coping, trying to do the methods to feel better, but then you're actually in real danger. You're living with ligers in the room. The system's doing its job. So, if you're living with ligers, set them free and start working on your behavior patterns. Do the work, bring the survival state down. Do the work, bring the survival state down, and empty the allostatic loads and get your life back. But it's not about the symptoms. If your symptoms are going away because you're doing the work, right, and you're getting to the root of all the things in your life, then that's good. Then they're supposed to be off. But if you're forcing them off because you just care about the symptoms, then you're totally missing the whole point. Why the symptoms are there, right? And it could happen. A lot of people think that they totally missed it, right? And that's okay. Now you know. Now you can go, okay. It's more to it than the symptoms. My shoulder pain, it's not about my shoulder pain. It's not about my gastritis or my OCD looping thoughts, right? It's every drop that's in my allostatic load that I got to process. And then the alarms will turn off as a consequence. We went for a run outside. There's Lemmy. He's just a chiller. He likes to chill. And she went for a hard run.